Hi guys, it's me again, Heptism. So today we're gonna do another deck profile, and the deck profile that we're gonna talk about today is the new Dragonic Vermillion the Blood. Make sure to check out the video and don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so let's get started on the deck list. Okay guys, we're gonna start with our deck profile today. We're gonna talk about Dragonic Vermillion the Blood, which just came out in the latest clan selection class. So the deck is pretty interesting, and I'm gonna let you see what it looks like, and you can try it yourself. Okay, so first we start with the Grade Zero. The Grade Zero, of course, we got the starting Vanguard, the first Vanguard, and for heal triggers. There are some builds that didn't bring any heal triggers, but I think this deck still needs heals because you have multiple checks and then the damage checks after hit. I think you still need heals, and there's the 4 Sentinel crit, so I didn't bring draw because the deck itself has quite good draw power and quite a good hand size. The hand size is not small by any means, so you don't really need draw triggers in my opinion, and you got the 8 front, so this deck is very offensive with 8 fronts for crits. You don't really use draw triggers in this deck because again I think the hand size is quite okay, and in today's meta you can guard almost every attack except like the obvious one, like maybe if you got hit like with 60k plus Angel Feather with 6 crits and you get a Sentinel, of course you will be in trouble, but other than that I think you should be okay. And now we're gonna see the great ones. So I got 3 Demolition Dragons and 2 Mighty Bolt. I want to use for Mighty Bolt, but I only got 2, so I had to readjust it a little bit with 2 Mighty Bolt and 3 Demolition for right target. If you go second and you write this card can draw 1 when you hit the Vanguard, or even if you didn't write it and you call Demolition on the rear guard, if you bind your opponent rear guard, it can be a 11k booster or attacker, which is good to make a magic number. And then we got this 4 card. So I run the Eradicator engine in this deck because this deck will use quite a lot of Eradicator cards which you want to look for, and if you want to be aggressive with your game, you don't want to have too many triggers in your hand, and you can change your triggers for an Eradicator card using this card. So with this card, when you write or call it on the rear guard, you can check top 5 at 1 Eradicator, and if you add a card, you can discard 1 card. So you can basically exchange your triggers or other units for attackers or booster, whatever you need. And so, of course, we got the new Great One or 2. Again, this is also a searcher, so if you see the Great One lineup, we get like mainly it's so much searchers. This search Grade 3, this search any Eradicator, and this search for Spark Arrow or Dragonic Vermillion. And also for every attack of your Vanguard that hits, this get power plus 5000, so it can be an attacker too. It's really versatile, and this deck is really aggressive. And of course you got the Spark Arrow as a grade 2, 4 of it. Basically this card is just to make you more axle and make sure you write the blood. If you only got like Vermillion in your hand and you write Vermillion, you don't want to stop at Vermillion. So this card will make sure that you write the blood, your main target, right. And also the turn you use the skill, you get every regard that you retire from your opponent will get binded instead, so you can trigger Demolition Dragon that way. And of course this also gives you an extra axial circle because you super right. And then we get these 4 cards. So basically this is the area to target. When you write plus 5000, and you can again check top 5 and exchange any cards you want for Eradicator cards that you found in the top 5. If you need a booster or if you need an attacker, you can exchange trigger if there's too much trigger. Again, you don't want to have like floating triggers in your hand in this deck because that if you have too many triggers on your hand and no attackers, you cannot really play aggressive with this deck, which you can see again. And this deck is really aggressive. This deck is really offensive, and you want to have attacker in your turn, attacker in your hand during your turn. You want to have them at each of your turn. You really want to have attacker in your hand. You want to make sure you have an attacker on your hand, and this Eradicator engine makes sure that you will have an attacker in your hand. And of course, this card also have an on hit pressure. When it attack hits, you can Soul Blast 1 to draw 1. It's really good. It's a pressure card, and during the early game, if you go second, you can push for your hand size using Demolition and this card. And then we get the 4 Zuitan. Zuitan is also an Eradicator, and you can search with these 2 cards. You can search Zuitan too. So with Zuitan, basically if you use Spark Arrow and you bind cards, Zuitan will get power up, and Zuitan also give off draw power after you attack with your Vanguard, which usually attack all the front row, and your opponent has no front row. At the end of the battle, Zuitan can go into the soul and draw 1 card, so it's another draw power for you. And we get the 4 Dragonic Asher Vermillion and for the blood. So this is pretty obvious. The Great Rechoice isn't that much surprising because well, every blood deck should play like this. It's 4 and 4. It's pretty obvious. So the main thing that is interesting about this deck is the Eradicator engine and the 8th front. I think you really want to play aggressively with this deck. You really want to have as much attacker as possible in your hands. You want to have as much power as possible, and you can kill your opponent with 1 swing, preferably. If you can do 4 or 5 checks and you get like 2-3 fronts, that's a pretty high chance that you can finish the game right off right there. So this is the deck list, and feel free to try it. If you have any other ideas, if you have like, oh, I don't agree with your deck list and you have another good deck list, you can show it out in the comment. You can comment what deck that you prefer, and if you want to see any other deck to be profiled like this, you can also comment. You can also put it in the comment like what decks you want to see in the future. So don't forget to like and subscribe the video. Thank you for watching, and this is the deck profile. Feel free to try it. I will also try to upload videos about this deck in action, so you can see this deck in action in the future. Okay, so that's it.